Hello and welcome to our comprehensive news package here on Ogun State Television. I am Olayinka Shodunke. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, Federal Ministry of Agriculture delegates in Abeokuta for shared learning towards improving agribusiness. Minister of Education affirms January 18 resumption date for schools across Nigeria. National Bureau of Statistics puts Nigeria's total debt profile at 32.22 trillion naira as at third quarter of 2020. WHO team arrives in Wuhan to start investigation into origins of coronavirus. Our flag does not fly because the wind moves it. It flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it.
Olympic medalist Cleet Keller charged over Capitol riot. These and many more later when I return. My name is Hakeem Akitunde.
You're welcome to the program. Delegates from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Federal Capital Territory Abuja, have embarked on a visit to Ogun State in furtherance of shared learning process towards improving agribusiness in the country. The collaborative strategy, according to delegates led by Director of Planning, Research, Statistics from the Federal Secretariat, Alhaji Yahaya Hussein, would be a positive strategy to boost the nation's economy. Ife Sholuade has details.
The visit of the top echelon from the FCT is to get integrated with the footprints of Ogun State in the agricultural sector with the allocation of farmlands, farm institutes, inputs and loans to existing and intending young farmers for agricultural purposes. According to the State Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adeola Odedino, such integration with stakeholders from other states will help improve the agricultural drive of the state.
And I'm particularly delighted that they are interested in the way we manage our land resources, the way we manage the farm estate, and also the way we manage the various youth-focused groups that we were doing in the Ministry of Agriculture. That is very good for agricultural sector because we learn from each other. Nobody knows it all. Gentlemen, we are also going to undertake visits to other states so that we can also learn one or two things from what they are doing.
Officers from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, led by the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics, Alhaji Yahaya Hussein, after embarking on the facility tour, gave kudos to the state government for focusing largely on capacity building.
I think it's good we share knowledge and then share experiences with all the states, so that whatever is succeeding in one state, the other state can copy and see that we make things work for Nigeria. We need agriculture, like everybody said. There's no way we can run away from that. And so the best we can do, whatever we can do to promote agriculture, all the state and the government should be able to put their head together and do it together.
The delegates thereafter proceeded to Simeon Adebo Library, Kuto, Abeokuta, where a day training program for directors and deputy directors in the Ministry of Agriculture was flagged off. The theme of the training exercise is ethos, ethical leadership, and demand in the workplace, as participants were charged to utilize the platform for the benefit of the state and humanity at their respective units.
We are not going to be living on 2020 glory in 2021 because to whom much is given, much expected.
We must all make this commitment to preserve the cherished values in the service and take Ogun State civil service to the next level.
We desire an improvement in the deliverables, irrespective, and we've noticed some knowledge gap. Rather than be shouting on each other, it is better to do training.
Commissioner for Agriculture also seized the medium to appreciate them for their efforts and selfless dedication to service, which earned the state a national recognition in the agricultural sector. Ife Sholuade, Ogtv News.
In its efforts to further promote the state forest resources for sustainable growth and development, the Commissioner for Forestry, Engineer Tunji Akiosi, said more trees would be replanted and higher revenue generated to uphold the 2021 Budget of Recovery and Sustainability of the state. Akiosi said this at a 2021 Productivity Enhancement Retreat titled Managing Ogun Forest Resources for Sustainable Development, Growth and Revenue Enhancement in Abeokuta.
have a daunting task to replant the forest which have not been done in so many years. We are also having a revenue edge, as it were, that is beyond 100% of what we did in 2020. So we've come to sit together to know where the challenges are and know how we are going to achieve results. So that
It said the challenges were still there, but charged all forestry officers to brace up to tackle those challenges and put up measures to generate more revenue for the growth and development of the state. The commissioner pointed out that as various arrests, prosecutions, fines, levies were made last year, they would be highly monitored this year with a comprehensive design to stamp out illegal logging, felling, fletches, and other acts of sabotage to the state forest resources. In his presentation, the chairman, Forestry Association of Nigeria, FAN, Ogun State Chapter, said forestry laws should be reviewed, training and retraining enhanced, illegal dwellers and farming must be discontinued in the forest, saying there must be a change to the chart, a new way to prevent damage of the forest reserves in the state. On his part, former project manager, J4 Projects, Mr. Michael Idowu, affirmed the opportunities within the forestry subsector, though numerous, should not be abused, noting that farmers who have been pardoned and given portions by the government must not go beyond their limits by illegally extending farmlands and destroying economic trees. Now, the Ogun State Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimo Talako-Yedele, has charged members of the Nigerian Institute of Management to continue to uphold the ethics of their profession in order to be a better and an accomplished manager. Engineer Talako-Yedele, who stated this while playing host to members of the Institute Abeokuta chapter who were on a courtesy visit to our office, said that an innate managerial skill is required for effective execution of any undertaking activity.
What you do, and this is very important to His Excellency. We have what we call a government delivery unit here, which also manages and coordinates all the government projects to make sure that the M&A, management, and coordination is on and deliver on our agenda to people. If we do not go out and do that properly, we won't know where we are in our delivery process.
The Deputy Governor, however, appreciated the body for their contributions to development of the state and the country at large. Earlier, in his remarks, the Chairman, Abeokuta Chapter, Pastor Adebayo Oshinaike, stressed the need for proper management of resources, especially with the ravaging effect of COVID-19 pandemic all over the world, adding that as members who are manager, more will be done on their own parts as a professional body. While appreciating government for their support in all aspects, he expressed the institution's unalloyed support towards the success of the present administration led by Prince Dapo Abiodun. A total of 6.85 kilometers urban renewal roads have been awarded to different contractors by the current administration in Ogun State, which is in accordance with its Building Our Future Together mantra. A visit by Ogtv News to some of the locations in Ogun East Central District talks about the steady construction of roads of 3 different locations in the area. Peter Falomo completes the report.
One of the vision of Ogun State government is to ensure the provision of good and durable roads in all nooks and crannies of the state. The first port of call by Ogtv News was the construction site of a 1.2 kilometers Elation Market Road, not only to relieve the congestion at the market, but for a free-flow vehicular movement and perennial flooding in the community.
Another feature that is nice to have, it's a nice view, and it's going to be a covered drain. They're covering it for you. It's going to be a covered drain. That's a beautiful thing.
The 1.75 Igon Imere Junction at Agoiwoye and the 3.9 kilometer stretch of Molusi College Road, Ijebu-Igbo, are also ongoing.
We are to construct the roads with some fissures such as street light, service dogs, and lay-bys. We are drainages, then the asphalting of the road. That means after the drainage, we do the main road work, which is filling of the road and the asphalting of the road. What we normally do is that we maintain a good relationship with the residents, so that whenever we come across a sort of fissures that it falls within the road side, we have to demolish, just as road fences. As we are demolishing it, we are reconstructing the fence back for them.
Residents in the areas express joy at the ongoing road construction, its attendant benefits and economic values that are derivable from the road network.
We are so excited. It's a thing that we've been looking forward to, and we never expected it to be so soon. And we believe that it's going to bring the economic activity of this particular road will be improved.
I'm happy that I'm a living witness, seeing the quality of work the state government is doing here, and we even appreciate the effort of the contractor and the speed with which they are doing the work.
During the visit to Ijebu-Ode Ekpe Expressway, which is under construction, the project manager, Amin Talk, speaks on the proposed flyover across the Ijebu-Ode Ore Expressway.
Now this Ekpe Ijebu-Ode road, it will link to this express. To avoid having a junction here and traffic jam, there will be an interchange over the express for people coming and going to Ekpe to leave and enter the express without stopping by junctions. Let's say this raining season and the next one. By the end of next raining season, it should be completed.
With work rates at various construction sites visited, it is expected that the road projects ongoing simultaneously will be delivered within the record time. From Ijebu-Ode Ekpe Road, Peter Falomo, Ogtv News.
In its efforts to restore peace and tranquility in communities within Ijebu-Ode, Ijebu Northeast, Ijebu East and Odogbolu local government areas in Ogun State currently experiencing avoidable loss of lives resulting from court clashes among rival groups, the State House of Assembly has made a renewed call on the State Governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun, to intervene by directing the entire security apparatus domiciled in the state to nip the menace in the bud. The Speaker, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, made the call while responding to separate submissions of members who spoke under personal explanation at the resumption of plenary held at the Assembly Complex, Okimoson, Abeokuta. Correspondent Kolawole Osho covered the plenary, and report is presented in this package.
Members representing Ijebu-Ode, Ijebu Northeast, Ijebu East, and Odogbolu state constituencies, Honorables Kemi Oduwole, Abayomi Faswa, Shola Adams, and the Chief Whip Atinuke Bello, in their presentations under personal explanation, intimated the assembly of the show of supremacy amongst the court groups in the Ijebu axis of the state in recent time, with cases of deaths and casualties recorded, and thereafter sought the intervention of the state through the immediate deployment security agents to prevent a state of anarchy. The Speaker, Right Honorable Olakunle Oluomo, in his response, lauded the efforts of the State Command of Nigerian Police in combating crimes in all parts of the state, especially the working visit of the State Commissioner of Police to the affected areas, and sought for improved collaborative efforts of all security agencies, including the military formations, to wage war against the menace of cultism in all parts of the state. He equally challenged all concerned stakeholders, especially the judicial arm of government, to evolve more legal measures at ensuring stringent bail conditions for suspected cultists and those involved in related cases, with stiffer commitment from sureties to serve as deterrent to others, with a view to curbing the reoccurrence of cult-related clashes across the state.
I want to appreciate the Commissioner of Police and beg him to please do more in that area. What I call on the governor to energize other security apparatus in the state to team up with the police in checking the menace of cultism in that zone. May God help us to do.
In another development, Speaker Olakunle Oluomo has summoned the Oniraken of Iranike, Elewoku, Oba Adewale Adeniji, to appear before the lawmakers on Wednesday, 28th of January 2020 at 10 in the morning. Oluomo, who made the announcement, said this third invitation extended to the monarch became imperative, owing to 2 previous invitations already extended to him in the previous year, which he failed to honor.
This is to officially invite the Oba of Iranike in Shagamu to appear before this house on Wednesday, 20th of January at 10 a.m. at 2:05. Let me warn that if he fails to appear this time around, this house will invoke Section 129 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended to get him to appear before this house. I so order.
It will be recalled that the Assembly, through its Committee on Lands and Housing, led by Honorable Damilola Shone, had earlier summoned the monarch to explain allegations of an alleged threat to life and invasion of Olumeru Adeyemi Shodia family land, Idarika Kanuyi village, through Agerige village by Okerala farmland in Shagamu leveled against him and directed him to produce all necessary documents, including land title documents, in his custody in relation to the landed property allegedly acquired forcefully through a court judgment.
Through various constituency projects aimed at bringing soccer to them, the people of Abeokuta North, Odeda and Obafemi Owode Federal Constituency have been reassured of commitment of their representative to continue to go extra mile to bring and ensure even distribution of the dividends of democracy. This assurance was given during the formal handing over of medical equipment, laboratory facilities and drugs to 4 healthcare centers in the 3 local governments under the constituency. Matthew Showme completes the report.
With a motorcycle, generating sets, laboratory facilities, various drugs, beddings, fridge, and other medical equipment facilitated by Honorable Olumide Oshoba, the hardship being faced by the people of Olorunda community under Abeokuta North local government in accessing healthcare services has now become a thing of the past. Honorable Olumide Oshoba, represented by his legislative aide Olushesi Babatunde, was welcomed with joy and appreciation by the people of Olorunda as they formally received their items at the primary health center in the community.
This is a comprehensive medical center where you can really access and then see that you get well.
The people said the facilities will help bring healthcare services to their doorstep, drugs to take care of their various medical needs, and other facilities were also made available for the people of Imala, who thanked the Honorable for putting the interests of the people first in all its activities.
The man is a man that has the mercy of his people in his heart. God bless him, may God honor him, and will surely end this program without any problem, without any hazard.
The people of Ajebo are the beneficiaries of the good gesture of Honorable Olumide Oshoba in Obafemi Owode local government, as the only health center providing the medical needs of the people is also equipped with a generating set, motorcycle, laboratory facilities, beddings, drugs, and other medical equipment. Olushesi Babatunde, who represented the Honorable, said this is in line with the fulfillment of the promises made to the people to work for them.
Staff, to please ensure that they make adequate use of it to the benefit, profitably to the benefit of the people.
The Transition Committee chairman of the local government led his people in a show of appreciation to the Honorable.
What they brought to us here is equivalent to what one can use to set up a general hospital. And any ailment, any disease condition that we want to take care of, all the necessary equipment has been given to us.
It was the same situation at health center in Camp Obantoko under Odeda local government, and the people could not hide their joy.
I should thank the Honorable Olumide Oshoba for deeming it fit to make sure he facilitated some medical equipment for our health center.
On behalf of my people, we thank him. We pray that may Allah help him and continue to assist him.
Some of the ongoing projects by the Honorable are in different areas in the constituency. Matthew Showme, Ogtv News.
Still ahead in the news, Minister of Education affirms January the 18th resumption date for all schools in the country. More news and report after the break. Do join us again. Welcome back. The Nigerian Communications Commission has said it was waiting for the advice of the federal government as regards the deadline for the integration of subscriber identification models with valid national identity numbers. It also stated that the earlier announced deadlines were still enforced despite the clamor for extension or outright suspension of the registration process. Calls for deadline extension were mainly due to the large crowds that gather daily at the various offices of the National Identity Management Commission. The Director, Public Affairs, NCC, Mr. Adinde, said in Abuja that no deadline extension has been approved. When probed further on whether there had been moves to either extend or suspend the exercise, Adinde replied no. The federal government had declared on December 15, 2020, that after December 30th, 2020, all SIMs that were not registered with valid NINs on the network of telecommunications company would be blocked. It later extended to December 30, 2020 deadline following widespread opposition against the early announcement and gave 3 weeks extension for subscribers with NIN from December 30, 2020 to January 19, 2021. It also gave 6-week extension for subscribers without NIN from December 30, 2020 to February 9, 2021. The federal government has given the nod for schools to resume on January the 18th after reaching consensus with governors, commissioners and other stakeholders. The consensus was reached at a meeting between the Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, and Commissioners of Education in Abuja. The Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Education confirmed this. He said, after extensive discussions with state governors, proprietors of schools, labor, staff unions, and student representatives, it was concluded that all schools should resume. He stressed that the reopening of schools will be in compliance with COVID-19 protocols. The Senior Staff Association of Nigeria Polytechnic has described the integrated payroll and personal information introduced by the federal government as fraud, calling for its scrapping. The SSANIP members made this known on Thursday during their protest held at the Polytechnic Ibadan. The workers who converged in Ibadan from polytechnics across the southwest also demanded payment of salary arrears of their members in Osun, Ondo, and Ogun states. The National Vice President of SSANIP, Ayo Bankole, who led the scores of other members of the association, decried the deduction of pension contributions from their salaries without remitting same to pension fund administrators. The president of the resident doctors of the University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, Dr. Badmus Habib, have revealed that 20 doctors contracted the deadly coronavirus disease within the past 3 weeks in Kwara State. Speaking during an interview with journalists, Habib said the association was battling with the pandemic based on available resources. He noted that the discovery of vaccines has brought hope and relief to everyone. According to him, the vaccine has so far proven to be effective, adding that Nigerians need to get vaccinated once it arrives while adhering strictly to other COVID-19 protocols. The Ogun State Police Command Tactical Team has stormed a notorious hideout of illicit drug cartel in Lafenwa area of Abeokuta. The State Commissioner of Police, Edward Ajogum, made this known during a press briefing held at the command's headquarters, Eliwero, Abeokuta. Adebola Oshomoji reports.
In a bid to make the society free of illicit drugs, the Ogun State Police Command's tactical team has stormed a notorious hideout of illicit drugs in Lafenwa area of Abeokuta. According to the Commissioner of Police in the state, Edward Ajogun, the area is being patronized by armed robbers, kidnappers, cultists, and internet fraudsters, as items recovered at the scene include 2,250,000 naira cash and illicit drugs worth millions of naira.
110 parcels of weed, 110 parcels of weed suspected to be India hemp, 50 packs of codeine, 2 packs of emzoline, 6 packs of Uniplex codeine, 4 packs of Padine expectorant, 12 packs of Refnol, 3 packs of backwoods honey, 1 carton of Max cut codeine, battle axes, cutlasses, dangerous charms. Meanwhile, effort is being made to track down the dealers who escaped with some of their agents in the course of this operation.
Edward Ajogun used the briefing to appeal to critical stakeholders and community leaders to work with security agents towards ensuring that the state is free of illegal activities.
If we have information on them, we will also go after those who are operating there, and of course deny them of these all these illicit items. So, and of course, you and I will agree that this is a huge loss. So if you can get some of this like this in about 20, 30 places in the state, then of course you discover that the wave of crime will drastically reduce.
He reiterated the effort of Police Command in chasing their agents and criminal associates out of business in the state. Adebola Oshomoji, Ogtv News.
Still talking security, Kano State Police Command on Thursday deployed 10,000 personnel for the Saturday, January 16th local government council elections in the state. The spokesman of the command, DSP Abdullahi Aruna, who made the disclosure to newsmen in Kano, said they comprised police officers and men drafted from other security agencies. It listed the other agencies to include the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Nigeria Immigration Service, Nigeria Customs Service, and Nigeria Correctional Service, among others. Furthermore, it disclosed that the personnel would be deployed in all the polling units in the 484 wards spread across the 44 local government areas. Similarly, the spokesman explained that there would be restriction of movement in the state between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., except for those on essential services, such as election workers and observers. The command is ready to ensure peaceful conduct of the election and will not condone any attempts to breach peace and stability by groups or individuals. Anybody found or caught in the act would be dealt with in accordance with the provisions of the law, he said. Bandits have abducted 18 people, including 4 nursing mothers in Mando village, Birin Gwari local government area of Kaduna State. The incident, according to a statement by the chairman, Birin Gwari Emirate Progressive Union, Salisu Aruna, occurred on Wednesday night. He said the bandits, who were armed with AK-47 rifles, raided several houses in search of grains and other food items. A statement said the bandits went from house to house looting property and food items, despite the location of the security outfit about 3 kilometers away from the community. The spokesman of the Kaduna State Police Command, Mohammed Jalige, could not be reached to comment on the incident as his mobile phone was not connected when contacted. Kaduna State is one of the states battling with bandits who attack communities, kill and abduct people. Residents of Boni local government area in Rivers State on Thursday carried out a fresh protest. This time, they stormed the government house and Rivers State House of Assembly in Port Harcourt, the state capital. The protesters are calling for an immediate end to the attacks and killings on the Boni Island waterway by pirates. The protesters, mainly the youth, marched from UTC Junction on Azikwe Road to Government House, Port Harcourt, to register their grievances, and to Rivers State House of Assembly, where the members representing Boni constituency addressed them. Part of their demands is for the government to set up security checkpoints on the Boni IC and empower security agencies to tackle violent crimes. Boni local government area can only be accessed through the IC, as the federal government's 120 billion naira 37-kilometer bridge to connect the island to the mainland Rivers State is yet to be completed. The Benue State Security Council has imposed a dusk-to-dawn curfew on Katsina, Ala, and Okom local government areas of Sangriza axis in the state. This is aimed at checkmating banditry, kidnapping, and robbery, which has been on the rise in the areas. The Deputy Governor, Benton Abonu, who made the announcement, said the curfew would commence effective from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. daily. The curfew took effect from Wednesday, January the 13th, 2021. The Deputy Governor also explained that the Council resolved to sustain the ban on the use of motorcycles in the area known as Kari Political Axis pending further review of the security situation in the area. Now, the impeachment of the outgoing President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, will go down in history as the first president of the world superpower to be impeached twice. This is in commemoration of the recent happenings in the nation's democracy, which came to a climax with the invasion of the Capitol by hoodlums alleged to be supporters. Matthew Showme completes this report.
On the 6th of January 2021, the world was taken by surprise when some hoodlums, allegedly incited by the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, invaded the nation's National Assembly, the Capitol, to stop the proclamation of Joe Biden as the newly elected President of the U.S. This was met with total condemnation by many countries of the world, and in their response to the ugly incidents in which the system believed to be the bastion of democracy the world over was completely demystified. The Congress vowed to impeach the president for the second time, with all Democrats and 10 Republicans in the Congress voting in favor of the impeachment. President Trump was impeached for the second time on January 13, 2021, with 7 days remaining for him to vacate the office as the 45th President of the United States.
It shows that in the real sense, all humans are the same everywhere in the world. The only thing that separates us is the system or the institutions that are established to curtail our inherent negative activities. So what Donald Trump did in not wanting to accept the results of the election that brought in threw up Joe Biden as the winner is just the same thing that happened everywhere in Africa. But then there are no strong institutions to fight these people to a standstill, because we have strong personalities, strong persons, but no strong institutions.
Throughout his period of 4 years, which terminates next week, Tuesday, that is 20th of January, he had been trying to dismantle the seat of greatest democracy in the world, perhaps so. And it shows that the second impeachment is appropriate, if only to teach any such people in the United States of America that is likely to behave that way again.
That he was impeached the second time shows the seriousness of the misdemeanor that a lot of people didn't like, because it ridiculed American democracy. It ridiculed the American nation, and it made the American nation a laughing stock.
On the lesson the world needs to learn from the impeachments, respondents speak.
Trump offended the entire system of the United States of America, and that means that we should collectively tell the wrongdoers to stop doing so. Where we see something fundamentally wrong, we should come together, regardless of our religion, political affiliation, and what have you, and right the wrong.
They have placed so many people on watch. Everybody that was involved in that invasion of the capital, some of them have come forward by themselves, knowing fully well that they will seek them out. So, and they have said that they are going to put charges on them from as little as trespass to murder. So everybody knows that they have to pay for what they have done. It's not in Nigeria where some people will feel, what can you do?
That the president, the most powerful president in the world, could be impeached the second time, demonstrate the fact that the U.S. democracy, rule of law, equality before the law, and all that still rules in America.
The events of the few days to come will no doubt determine the direction of the model of democracy in the world as everyone watches with keen interest. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
To common business news, the National Bureau of Statistics put Nigeria's total debt profile at 32.22 trillion naira. Details of this and more after this break. Do join us again. Welcome to Business News. The National Bureau of Statistics has said as at third quarter of 2020, Nigeria's total debt stood at 32.22 trillion naira. The NBS, in a report titled Nigerian Domestic and Foreign Debt, third quarter of 2020, explained that further disaggregation of Nigeria's foreign debt showed that $16.74 billion of the debt was multilateral, $502.38 million was bilateral, and another $3.26 billion bilateral from the Exim Bank of China, JICA, India, and KfW, while $11.17 billion was commercial, which are Eurobonds and disposal bonds. NBS said Nigerian state and federal debt stock data as of 30th of September 2020 reflected that the country's total public debt profile stood at 32.22 trillion naira. Nigeria's total public debt showed that 12.19 trillion naira, or 37.82% of the debt, was external, while 20.04 trillion naira, 62.18% of the debt, was domestic. The document said the domestic debt stock as at September the 30th, 2020, was totally 13.9 trillion naira. In its breakdown of the domestic debt stock, NBS said it consists of 812 billion naira promissory notes, representing 5.85%. The Central Bank of Nigeria has released the framework for quick response code payment in Nigeria. The latest move is part of efforts by the Apex Bank to ensure the steady and stability of the Nigerian financial system, promotes the use and adoption of electronic payment, and foster innovation in the payment system. The framework provides regulatory guidelines for the operation of quick response in payment services in the financial sector of the Nigerian economy. It aims to ensure the adoption of appropriate QR code standards for safe and efficient payment services in Nigeria. Quick response codes are of the kind of metric barcodes representing information represented as square grips made up of black squares against a contrasting background that can be scanned by any imaging device, processed and transmitted by appropriate technology. Those codes are expected to be used to present, capture, and transmit payment information across payment infrastructure. The technology further enables the mobile channel to facilitate payments and represents another veritable avenue for promoting electronic payment for micro and small enterprises. The Lagos Chamber of Now, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce of Industry, LCCI, has lamented the continued liquidity crisis in the foreign exchange forex market and its impacts on businesses, saying that it's worsening the rate of investment in the country. Mr. Muda Yusuf, Director General, LCCI, stated this at a webinar tagged the Naira in 2021, Optimizing Choices for Growth. He said the liquidity crisis, coupled with issues of depreciation in Naira, heightened uncertainty for investors, hampers smooth planning process for import-dependent local manufacturers, and also lead to spike in the cost of production and operation. Yusuf, who also described and decried what he termed excessive focus on the demand management side of the foreign exchange market, said rather than focus on managing demand, the authorities should set clear statistics that would encourage more forex inflow into the economy. The Minister of State Power, Godi Jedi Agba, has said the power sector requires $4 billion annually to universally access clean and renewable energy for a sustained power supply to customers in the country. Speaking at a virtual Global Power Sector Players Conference presided over by the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, the minister outlined the achievements and challenges President Muhammadu Buhari administration has recorded in the power sector. Agba said the government is serious at ensuring that there is adequate supply of electricity to consumers, while urging global partners to support economic sustainability plan introduced by the federal government. The minister stressed that Nigeria is taking steps to merge its energy access and energy transition, conservation and conversation as the largest unelectrified population globally presides with the borders. Agba declared that the financing has been a major constraint, adding that the present administration has identified areas of conflict and has gone a long way to address these challenges, except for finance to boost the sector. And that was business news. Up next is the foreign segment of the news. In the foreign segment of the news, President-elect Joe Biden unveiled a stimulus package proposal on Thursday designed to jumpstart the economy.